I was supposed to be on YouTube showing you guys also a. I have some pages put up for some visual examples and to show my research background. Right? I'm not just pulling this out of my head, even though I did some preliminary reading prior to this show. We are going to do some looking into the card game that I have. So I have the Captain Marvel card. Let's see here. Right? She is very high in power and courage, and like I guess her intelligence isn't that much, but I guess you kind of have to even all those things out when it comes to creating your stats. And I relate your stats to how you would look at your astrology and your own character in this cosmic game of life. Yeah, at least just one way of playing it, of course. So let me just get to the good part. Not the good part, but the part where Captain Marvel turns into Ms. Marvel. So wait a minute. He's sentenced to death by firing squad, and then he escapes in a stolen rocket, but becomes lost in space. And after drifting for exactly 112 days, that's a clue of something, I don't know. Someone put that somewhere. After drifting for 112 days, he is weak and on the verge of madness. He is then manipulated by Ronan the Accuser, which I think I have his card too, and I think Ronan was in the movies. And Kree Minister Zarek, oh yes, into helping them overthrow the Supreme Intelligence. To better help them, Marvel is given a new costume and enhanced abilities. After the conspiracy is foiled, Marvel tries to return to Earth, and on his way, he is hit by a blast of radiation that traps him in the negative zone. The negative zone? Is that like the Phantom Zone? In the timeless space kind of area. Let's see here. Marvel and DC had lawsuits over Captain Marvel in the 70s, and Marvel won. Yes. That'd be cool to kind of, let me look at the story of that. Because copyright, for me, generally speaking, I'm very interested in, right? Because, think about it. If Homer were to copyright the Iliad, is the Bible copyrighted? Or like religious texts and things like that? So I'm just saying, like, copyright, who owns the copyright? Who has the jurisdiction on it? Like, when we think about the court of law, is that tied to the country? Is there, like, an international copyright law? I don't have the answers to all of this, but I mean, like, just as someone who's a dancer as well, typically I deal with, like, when I'm using a song, of course, a copyrighted song, and I'm doing a dance to it, and I'm trying to present it out again, that dance will get blocked, right? But what is a dance without the song that it's danced to? And they'll be like, oh, I would need replace your copyright music. Well, I'm like, but I'm not trying to make money off of it. If anything, you're going to have more people listen to your song, hopefully. But it's just interesting, especially on YouTube, like, I guess, like, the licensing and ensuring that the artist gets paid and all that. And I'm totally for that. And that's why I buy albums and stuff, and why, how we support the artists and what they do. I feel like we need to kind of relook at all of that again, because, yeah, let's see here. God, is the copyright for the Bible Miss Big Dog? I guess that works. But you have different translations of the Bible. You have the St. James Bible. You have, just as someone who taught Sunday school and stuff, right? You have different gospels, right? Different gospels will tell you what the what do you want to call it? The nativity scene, right? The way that is described, whether or not it's Luke, John, or Mark, is going to be different, right? And also the translation as well. So let's see here. No copyright on ancient text. Yeah, of course. Yes, it's public domain. That's why we watched last night Popeye the Slayer Man, because Popeye has officially entered public domain. So like Winnie the Pooh as well. Okay, so let's bring this back to Captain Marvel. Let's see here. I'm not familiar with the Supreme Intelligence character in Marvel as much. If someone can let me know if they are aware. I'm familiar with, let me see here. The Supreme Intelligence enables Marvel to telepathically contact Rick Jones, which he uses to lead Jones to a set of negabands at an abandoned Kree base. When Jones puts the bands on and strikes them together, he trades places with Marvel and is encased in a protective aura in the negative zone. The pair discover able to maintain telepathic contact. And using this method, Marvel can remain in the positive universe for a period of 3 hours. Oh, this is new. I guess that the bracelet thing, that's where Captain Marvel is the movie Nico Zombie with Brie is not the was not the right casting for that. She's a very unlikable person. It's kind of like the whole other Rachel Ziegler and like the Snow White thing. There's just unlikableness in them, and I'm like, oh, not that you have to be like subservient or you want to be tough. I get that, but there are different ways of showing power than being kind of like bitchy. Okay, the Supreme Intelligence is the villain. Oh, okay, is a villain that controls Captain Marvel isn't. Okay. Well, that's not confusing at all. The oldest, most complete illustrated Bible is Ethiopian, yet to be translated. Oh, dropping some truth in their voice of one. Thanks for that. And remember, illustrated, right? A comic book version, right? Love it. But no copyright, so many versions, anyone can change it. And I think it's up to everyone at a personal level to realize all these mythos and these stories only gain power through your belief in them, right? So you, as you interface with those stories and bring them into your inner world, can change it, right? No one's telling you otherwise. If someone tries to stop you or anything, then I feel that would be a kind of like a tyrannical kind of presence. She lies to Captain Marvel by pretending to be her mother to control her powers. Okay. Look at the lying and all this, right? And how you deal with power. And I feel like that's a big thing in comic books and superhero stories, right? It's about imagining and doing a thought experiment as to how we would deal with having these powers in real life, right? And would we wield them responsibly, or would we use it to serve our own ends, right? Screw the universe. I want control and power and these very like low vibration things. But when you have God level powers, who's going to stop you, right? So it plays with all of these really like concepts in that world as well. And by illustrating it, that's another way of bringing it to life and being able to also communicate about it, right? Oh, thank you, Poke. If I know how to I can't use what I use to multi-stream in order to chat, so I will do that. Poke, I do need mods, you guys, too, so please do let me know if your availability to do that. Spider-Man is the best at wielding power, and that's why he's a big favorite of most people, and that's why Spider-Man gets all the ladies. That's why Black Cat, Mary Jane, Gwen Stacy, we all love Spider-Man, because it's about how you wield power, right? The character it takes to destroy the whole world, but you don't, right? And you use it for something good. Yeah. Send me a message. Perfect. Pokey, I will have you be my my Twitch shoestings mod as well. We don't have Black Cat yet. We don't have Black Cat live action yet. Maybe they could cast me. I know I'm too old, whatever, but maybe I can be from some like off crazy universe, in the Spider-Verse somewhere. Doctor Strange destroyed the world. But that's the beauty, right? Destruction leads to creation. This is all a cycle, right? It's just where we are in the story. Thanks, Pokey. I appreciate that. Okay, so, and what is time in a timeless place, right? All right, so I just wanted to get a sense of where. Let's see here. This is going through all of the stuff that Captain Marvel did. There's also some fun stuff where the Phoenix Force and Marvel deal with stuff, because we're talking about cosmic forces. Has black version of Black Cat. Ultimate Spider version has black version of Black Cat. Ooh, that'd be cool. Oh, amazing. You guys, though, I'm welcoming all of you to step into your superhero selves, seriously, because like I do feel like there's some of you out there who like know that there's something more going on in this reality, and I've read enough comic books to know, And now that I've been playing D&D as well, it's all a game. This is all a game, right? And we have much more control and sovereignty over how we play this game, right? And far too long, the powers that aren't with like really poor imagination skills have been trying to push. I believe in magic, of course. We're doing it right now, aren't we? I think I'm a little chaotic when it comes to that. However, that's why my partner, my husband, I do feel like is more of like the order in my life, right? He's got such harmonious aspects to Saturn, you know? And that's why I think, you know, when you look at your astrology, and that's why you have superhero teams. You can't, like, one guy can't do everything, no matter how powerful you are. Whoa, what is happening here? Whoa. My computer just did this weird thing. Like, it just, like, I was, oh my gosh. Okay, guys. Nick Fury has a wonderful chance in the UFC. I like Nick Fury, too. It'll be the ultimate crossover. Oh, yeah. So that's the thing, though. I grew up reading Greek and Roman myth. And Arthurian legends. I love King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table, all of that stuff. In all those, I know the... It's crazy. As I was talking about, like, activating superpowers, like, the computer started to, like, yell at me. I'm like, get on with it. I'm like, okay. Let's see here. Okay, so let me go into Ms. Marvel, because then I wanted to actually do some divination with you guys today. That was going to be the point of this show. We were going to read some cards. I was going to, the Holy Grail, yes. We're going to do some Arthurian legends as well, because Marvel, and this is where Psylocke is so interesting to me, right? Because Psylocke is related to Captain Britain, and Captain Britain gets his powers from Merlin and the Sorcerer Supreme and all that kind of stuff, and that's how it interfaces with Doctor Strange and those worlds, and it's fun, right? So we got Ms. Marvel is the name of several. I'm reading this off Wiki, so this is what like normie people think of it. So I'm gonna put this all together in like a weird way. Captain Russia. Oh yeah, and also oh yes, hello Accent. We're gonna read cards. We got my my Shadowscapes deck ready for you guys. It is the last day of March today, you guys, and the reason why I did Captain Marvel today is like I do divination on a level when it comes to who I'm cosplaying as, like whose story needs to be told right now, and because there's so many, it's just what you're choosing, like what frequency you're tuning into right now, like a radio station, like oh. But if you're like in between, you get static from one and one over here, it's like it's very hard, right? So it's been. Like I can't play as Captain Marvel and Supergirl and Batgirl all at the same time. However, I can film each of those things and then have interactions with them. But that all needs to be played. Like there are rules to this 3D reality. And for us to activate magic or what seems like magic, things need to be precise, you guys. It's like baking a cake. It can see it's magical when you bake a cake. It's amazing. Like broken eggs and like flour and milk and all this just turns into a cake and it's delicious, but it needs to follow a very specific recipe, right? And not all the recipes are the same either, right? And there's some crappy recipes out there. Like if you guys have ever watched the show The Magicians, I think we're going to do some watch parties for that show because there's certain episodes in there that I think have tremendous intel as it comes to learning how to harness and wield your own superpowers in like a real way, not like hokey being like, oh, manifested. Like, no, I want to like see some stuff. I want to see like electrical powers. I want to see telepathy and holograms and flying, and I want all of it. And later Rachel needs I do. Marvel Lost Me Through Rachel Summers was with yes. And so Rachel Summers and Franklin Richards, I feel like me and my husband have a lot in common with those two characters. Like, it's kind of crazy. And Psylocke was his angel, but now Rachel and Psylocke are together. Yes, I saw Rachel and Psylocke were together. Now, that's the thing, too. A story about Rachel and Psylocke being together is this. Well, I do have a big crush on Psylocke, and I am a Rachel, so maybe there's something to it. But Rachel Summers is the daughter of Jean Grey and Scott Summers, right? In a future universe. And she also has a relationship with with the Phoenix, as you've said, voice of one, right? And I think that's why, like, you and I relate. Like, if you're Cable, I'm Rachel Summers, and and if you think about that in a more symbolic sense, that helps you realize your role on like an upper level and on this level as well. And White Dragon, thank you for following me. I love white dragons. I have a whole bunch of cosmology related to dragons and dragon essences, right? Like metallic dragons and crystal dragons as a way of, anyways, that's a side topic. However, let's go into the finishing up Marvel. I'm going to talk about Rachel Summers and Psylocke another time, because we could go down a rabbit hole when it comes to different versions and timelines and consistency of things, right? So, for example, Miss Marvel, right? She's very different in all her versions because there's like a mantle that is being held. So like Captain Marvel, which was kind of like a mistaken mishearing, became a mantle that then Miss Marvel held, right? And then Ms. Marvel became Captain Marvel, and you know what I mean? So there's a certain level there about like whatever that mantle is and the worthiness of a certain being to carry that mantle. The X-Men characters are very interesting though. Like the way they do their timelines, that deserves a whole show. And I should be an X-Man when I'm talking about it. Jean will talk to you guys about that. Maybe the Phoenix. But the Phoenix has her own agenda. All right, so the first incarnation. So hold on a second. Let me just read it from what Wiki says here. Ms. Marvel is the name of several superheroines appearing in comic books published by Marvel Comics. The character was originally conceived as a female counterpart to the superhero Marvel, Captain Marvel. Like Captain Marvel, most of the bearers of the Ms. Marvel code name gain their powers through Kree technology or genetics. So the way that they explain the powers of the Marvels are Kree technology, so alien technology, whether by genetics or by like special bracelets or by any kind of tool. So the first incarnation of Ms. Marvel, Carol Danvers, first appeared in Marvel Superheroes 13, which is March, right? March, we're ending March, so her birthday's in March, makes sense. Ms. Marvel would be an Aries woman, I think. And she first appeared in Marvel Superheroes number 13, March 1968. The second incarnation, I didn't even know about this lady, Sharon Ventura. Do you guys know who that is? She debuted in The Thing. Oh yeah. The Thing, number 27, September 9. Oh, year of my birth. Maybe I'm Captain Marvel. Let's see here. There's a total of 4. The most recent, 2014, is the best one, in my opinion. Ooh, I should take a look at that one. I don't know if I've seen the latest. I'm old school. I still love that original X-Men movie with Halle Berry playing Storm and doing the accent. I love it. Voice of one. Ty-in Rogues stole. Oh yeah, Rogue stole and used Captain Marvel's powers. Yes, Rogue got her flying ability from Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, and she became She-Thing. That's the Muslim one. Well, it's confusing. So Kamala Khan is the Muslim one, and she debuted in 2013. But I don't know how those things all relate. Like, okay, hold on. So first there's 4. Carol Danvers, 1968. Sharon Ventura, The Thing, September 1985. I feel like I got shafted on that version. And then the third incarnation, Carla Sofen, made her first appearance in Captain America 192 in December of 1975. Hey, Voice of One, look at that. Captain Marvel was born, she had debuted in 1985 and 1975. Her other version's kind of funny. Was a Thing wrestling partner who became She-Thing. Okay. I'm going to look into that. It's fun. I find it so interesting that you know that, Voice of One. Yes. Okay. And then the fourth and current incarnation, Kamala Khan, made her debut in Captain Marvel 14, August 2013. So Carol Danvers is the first character to use the code name, let's call it a code name, I guess, of Ms. Marvel. Created by, so I guess that's also different than Miss Marvel in DC Universe, right? Because Miss Marvel, the sister to that Shazam Captain Marvel, is a Miss, not a Ms., not married, I guess. So created by writer Roy Thomas and artist Gene the character first appeared in 1968. She was a non-superpowered officer in the United States Air Force after being caught in an explosion she's caught in an explosion with the Kree superhero Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel is fully Kree, and so she was caught in an explosion with him in 1969. Danvers then resurfaces in Miss Marvel #1, January 1977, with superpowers resulting from that explosion, which caused her DNA to merge with Captain Marvel. So that's what it is. It's not that she's half Kree, it's that her DNA merged with Kree DNA. Okay. I read those comics in 85. Yeah, it was coming into form. An explosion. Yeah, so but it was just an explosion, right? It wasn't like she was with the other Captain Marvel and then got his powers. I thought she was just Mary Marvel, but you might be right, Mary Marvel. And then I couldn't tell in my other comic book was Supergirl, because Supergirl and Mary Marvel work together to try to find, they're trying to find Metatron. It's kind of funny how it infuses with Christian myth and stuff. Hey, Sergeant Frosty Man, thank you for all the support on our live streaming of video games. I've been trying to do more video game live streams, and because we are in a great big video game, my friends, think of this as like your HUD, you can see, and your little special tokens and little intel you get on the way, and you unlock different parts of the story and people you have as allies and stuff. So there's so much fun there when it comes to video games, when it comes to modeling reality. And I welcome you guys not to get so caught up in models of things, right? There are equivalencies and reincarnations and reimaginings of things that we can see, right? Mary Marvel is Shazam's sister, yes. And there's another guy, Junior Marvel, and I don't know who he is. There's the three of them in my multiversity. Here, I'll show you. Don't kill me. This is crossing the universes. But where are you? There's a whole section here with the Marvels, right? The Marvel family, and let's see here. Let me see. Yeah. So there's these two. Mary Marvel and Junior, and I don't know Junior, but who is he though? Captain Marvel Jr. But is he? Because Captain Marvel's real self is just a little boy. So this Junior one is are you a littler boy? How are you a junior to the original guy? Captain Every Power is his name. Okay, so let me just see if there's anything else I want to say about this version of Captain Marvel before we go into the card readings. As Miss Marvel, Danvers becomes a mainstay of the superhero team, the Avengers. Beginning in the Avengers 1978, Danvers, I know, because I first read about Miss Marvel when it was Avengers versus X-Men, and I've read that on this channel before, and I want to get that comic book again. Seriously? I thought you were joking. Captain I feel like that's a cop-out name. Oh my gosh, it's happening again. Why? Oh, maybe I'm doing something. Okay, let's see here. My computer's getting mad at me again. All right, so let me see if there's anything else I want to show you guys. Visual. My name is Miss Marvel, and I'm here to welcome you to Earth. Now please go home. Quote from Carol Danvers. I'm trying to see here. Return of Ultron. Okay. The Wasp. That's cool, though. The Wasp and Captain Marvel are actually good friends. And in the comic book I read, they're actually friends. Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel are good friends as well. My computer wants cookies or something. Well, it's why are you talking about things like that? I'm trying to track you. Oh, thank you. So this costume itself on a personal level is my very first Marvel cosplay, and it was my first body sock cosplay, and so I love it. He has crutch when I'm in Secret Identity. It's funny. Okay, so I'm gonna drop this. I'm gonna drop the actual presentation here on YouTube. We're gonna go into some card readings, and if you want to catch that on TikTok and the replays of that, I'll put that all on Patreon, and I'll hopefully going forward, I will have readings for different signs and stuff, but I'll put that all in like a members only area if you want to join. But today we are going to do a reading overall. Let me see if I can just stop this. I stopped kind of late actually.